Why don't real estate agents trust stairs? Because they're always up to something. I know, bad joke, right? Welcome to the Listed Podcast. I'm Aubra Palermo, your local Illinois and Wisconsin real estate broker with over 25 years experience and the lead broker of the Golden Girls team. Listed is all about real agents talking real estate in Northern Illinois and Southern Wisconsin and beyond. If you're interested in real estate in our region or in general, you've come to the right place. And on Listed, we like to start by first looking at national real estate news, giving our thoughts and insights on it to compare and contrast these national headlines you're hearing every day to what our local regional market is doing. So with that being said, let's look at this month's national real estate news. One CRE giant is a large commercial brokerage finding undervalued assets in unlikely areas with the help of AI. BGO, an $89 billion real estate investment firm, is using AI to rethink how it picks those markets. The company's co-CEO, John Carafelli, says their data model shows the success comes down less to national trends and more to local fundamentals. That model flagged a Las Vegas industrial property as a winner when others dismissed it, and rents there have nearly doubled expectations. Carafelli says AI isn't perfect, but it's given them an edge by spotting opportunities traditional research might miss. So it's very interesting to me seeing companies use AI to look at values. Because many of you might remember Zillow, for example, a couple years ago was buying their own properties and then lost billions. So I do think that AI can help find some markets and some values, but I also think you have to be very careful and know that you're talking to a local professional and really do your due diligence on local. Because one of the things we talk about all the time is location, 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 right? So I really think that having some local knowledge in that market to make sure that you're not just going off of AI, because some of these estimates that are out there on values are way off. Sometimes they're way low and sometimes they're way high. So as you may catch, and you might notice in this article, they also point out that they are utilizing this AI to give them the edge on local data. And so they're really using that to help them research the local information, not just the national numbers and the national trends. So it's really important to, use that as an asset, as an opportunity, but really to use that for the local information that they're getting. 3D printing meets affordable housing. Houston's Zuri Gardens is using 3D printings to transform affordable housing. Built with robotic printed concrete, these 80 energy-efficient homes cost around $200,000 and are designed to withstand floods, heat, mold. If you know anything about new construction, a new house for $200,000 is cheap. Unlike typical entry-level homes, these homes are using the same durable materials as luxury builds, cutting the construction time and costs while improving the quality. This project could be a blueprint for smarter, faster, and stronger affordable housing throughout our entire country. So this 3D printing, I don't know if any of you have heard of this or had seen this article, or maybe you'll click here and find some more information, but this really intrigues me, it really excites me. Because as many of you know, we've talked about building costs. And as we all know, costs of everything have gone up so much. And many of our clients have said, I'd really love to build a house. I'd really love to, find my place. But the cost of building that house is, let's say, $250, $300 a square foot. So maybe just that simple little ranch is going to cost me $300,000. Or I could buy it for $150,000 or $200,000. So it really does excite me in the thought of, is this a possibility? Is it something that we could do here? And would it cost us even less than that $200,000 average that they were doing, in another market? What size was that house? So learning a little more about this, I definitely want to dive in and kind of follow this, this build and this development and see how this goes and see if it might be something that really, is a feasible option for all different areas in the country. CBS reports more homeowners are pulling their properties off the market. More homeowners are taking their listings off the market, says CBS, instead of lowering prices. According to Realtor.com, delistings jumped nearly 50% from a year ago, showing that sellers would rather wait than sell for less. In June, for every 100 homes that listed nationally, 21 were pulled from the market, where this time last year was 13. Experts say this holding pattern is fueled by homeowners locked into lower interest rates and still expecting pandemic-era prices, even as the sales slow and inventory rises. People say that the sellers are in a holding pattern right now. Let's think about this. Back in 2016, our homes were sitting on the market 142 days. Now, average of 43 days. This seems slow in our short attention spans, right? Seems like we all are in a hurry these days. This time last year, our average was 39 days. Now, 43 days seems slow. Other areas are seeing a slowdown. Those market prices are 2 to 5 times higher than our prices here. So affordability has become a huge issue for them. So sure, some of those areas have seen a slowdown, which has also created a higher demand here, because where else can you buy a nice home or an entry-level home for $150,000 or $200,000 on average? With that being said, how affordable our area is, that brings us to really our next topic of talking about our regional local market and why it is so different here. So we're going to talk about some of the market stats here, and we'll be right back. Stephenson County had 50 homes sold last month, with currently only 81 homes available for sale. Our local real estate market is not seeing a slowdown yet. We are always behind what happens nationally. Doesn't matter if you're talking about decor, clothing, technology, styles, all of it. Average sale prices in Stephenson County and Freeport last month was $191,628. That average sale price is more than double what it was just 10 years ago. So you might see less homes selling. However, they are still selling at all-time high prices. In 2016, our average sale price was $90,489, and it had been that price for almost the prior 20 years before that. When I started in 1998, our prices were almost the same. With sales last month averaging higher than they have in any of the prior months over the last 10 years. Can you believe that? Yet you hear nationally that things have slowed down. 50 homes sold is only 10% down from the average of the last 10 years of how many homes sold each month. However, the reason is not because the market is slowing down, it's because there are less homes for sale. With only 81 homes currently for sale in Freeport and Stephenson County, you can see that the number of available homes is what's keeping the market from being a higher level of number of homes sold. If you're like most buyers and you're looking for a home under that average of $191,000 or thereabout, there are only 40 homes available if you're looking in that price range. So supply versus demand, guys. There's a reason everyone says location, 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 right? We are talking about our local market in Northern Illinois and Southern Wisconsin versus the national real estate market and what you hear on the news. So let's talk about local market. We're going to take a quick break before we're joined by our community guest of the month. Can't wait to hear it. Please help me welcome Nicole Sidal, the founder and CEO of Altruize. Nicole launched Altruize in 2020 to solve a big problem. Volunteer hours and community service are often used in important decisions like college admissions, scholarships, corporate giving programs, but the data isn't always verified or standardized. Altruize changes that. It makes it simple to log and validate, report volunteer activities, so individuals and schools and nonprofits, as well as businesses, can clearly see and share the true impact of giving back. At its core, Altruize is about growth, helping people grow personally and professionally through service while making sure that their contributions are recognized. Let's give a warm welcome to Nicole. So excited to have you.
Thank you so much.
Exciting for me of, how you got started, because I've known you for a long time, obviously, and really, just curious on take us back how this started for you.
Yeah. First of all, it's really cool to hear somebody else talk about it, because I'm like, oh, that's my baby. So thank you for having me, and thank you for the nice introduction. So Altruize, actually, yes, the company itself, Altruize, started in 2020. We were supposed to launch March of 2020, tell everybody to go in their communities and get volunteering and all that stuff. And something happened March of 2020 that stopped all of that. Now, it didn't start right then. I'd actually been in this kind of space of startup and nonprofits really 5 years before that.
Okay.
With 2 previous startups that I like to say kind of failed forward
We have
into
to sometimes,
Altruize,
right?
because I didn't realize I was just learning the space and trying to get that customer product fit and product market fit and all of that. So Altruize really is the genesis of my learning in the space and discovering what the gap was. And the gap was that this data now is being used to advance people through stages of their life, but it's not standardized. It's, a piece of paper with somebody that scribbled.
I volunteered this many hours. Right.
And if we're going to elevate volunteer data to allow you to be able to get into a college or graduate high school, then it deserves a respect of treating it like true data.
Right.
And so that's where Altruize comes in.
Right. And let's talk about that, Altruize. I said Altruize, and it takes a minute to think about how you're pronouncing it. So tell me why the pronunciation on the name, because we talked about that, and I love your example.
Yeah. So when this idea was starting to manifest, so in 2019, actually, I was just like, I just want people to exercise their altruism. And I went, ooh, Altruize. That's a good name. And it was already identified at that time that the verifying of hours is where the gap was. So then as I progressed and people were pronouncing it, Altruize, et cetera, and I asked somebody when he had pronounced it Altruize, he said, well, I just assumed it's because you make altruism easy. And I went, I don't care how you pronounce it, just use it.
That sounds like a good tagline.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's great. Well, and actually our tagline is to tell a better story. And that's why is we want, if this is advancing people through stages of their life, we want them to tell a better story, and we want it to be better.
Right.
You're helping your community.
Right.
It's a better, literally, story.
Right. So share that story too.
That story.
Right. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So important. So for those of us who don't know, why is volunteer data so important? What problem were you seeing with how it was being tracked?
So the college admissions scandal was one jumping off point. When you start looking into the college admissions process, right around 60% of college admissions officials use volunteer data as a tiebreaker. But
wow,
that's
huge.
Between you and me saying we did it.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Right. And yet that's a life altering decision that gets made there.
Right.
Companies like Target were boasting they did 1 million hours of community service. I didn't see any
Target employees here.
Yeah, I didn't see any bullseyes in my neighborhood. How do you prove that?
Right.
I can find out how much you gave, monetarily speaking, but so kind of all of that started to roll into one, and then there are a few other verticals that we recognized were in need as well, like court-ordered community service. Right now that's seen as a punishment, and I said that to a particular judge, and they were shocked. They're like, community service isn't the punishment. I'm like, yeah, because you're the judge. You tell me to tie my shoe, and I'm like, oh, I'm being punished. And they're like, oh, we never thought of it that way.
Right.
So we're trying to instill, we want to be kind of the Fitbit for altruism.
Right.
We don't want to be the one and done after you've done the required hours, if you will.
Right.
But tell a better story. Keep going. Make your story really important.
Well, in so many organizations, yes, they need monetary, but they need people. They need the people to be on the boards, to be involved, to stock the shelves, to, do the food pantries, whatever it is. There's so many different levels of things that yes, your donations are amazing, don't get me wrong, but they need the people to step up and be there.
Right. And there's actually an organization called independentsector.org. They've calculated the value of the volunteer hour.
Okay.
And so we actually use that on our platform so people can get that positive reinforcement.
Okay.
The value of a volunteer hour to a nonprofit is right around $34 and change.
Wow.
So it is an impact.
Wow.
So like when Giving Tuesday rolls around, our big prompt is give it for your time.
Right.
It's valuable.
Right. Well, and that kind of brings me to that next question was, what has been some of the most rewarding things that you've seen in doing this and, and having this program out there for people?
Yeah. So we work with a lot of schools right now. We've got a school in California that just this past May has been able to tout that they've put $1 million worth of volunteering back into their community.
Wow.
Over the last couple of years.
Wow.
Using Altruize as their verification tool.
Right.
So again, it's verified. It's
Right.
not students saying they did it, getting it signed off by mom and dad.
Right.
They did it.
Because with Altruize, with the app, they can just go in there, they can see what that organization said. Yes, this person came and volunteered, and it's all verified, and they know they've given that.
And it's an email that they can actually, if they had a question, can do it, not whose signature is this?
Right. It was mom's signature.
Yeah. It ended up being mom's signature. So, yeah.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. And that's really impactful for them to be able to say, look, this is how much we've given back to our community. So, because like you said, knowing the value of every hour that someone volunteers, that's huge. That's a huge savings for that nonprofit and all those different nonprofits.
And we give, so the volunteer and the nonprofit, the verifying entity, both have access, since they're the ones creating the data, they have access to their data for free.
Okay.
So that nonprofit gets value out of Altruize.
Right.
Because now they can use that data to apply for grants, to show their supporters and stakeholders how well they are supported from volunteering. So we're really trying to bridge that gap too. And it's the first platform that allows the individual to be able to take their data with them wherever they go for a lifetime. Right.
That college student then can volunteer when they start their career and then as they get established in whatever community and things like that as well. So just out of curiosity, are there places on the app that they can go look and see like where there's need of organizations?
So one of the startups that I learned from had a place for nonprofits to post opportunities, but they weren't doing that. Like, why aren't you doing this?
Right.
It was one more thing for them to do.
Right.
Didn't have the staff. That's why they wanted the volunteers. Right. And okay. So what we've done with Altruize is the opportunities section for the individual. We use AI. They put in their city, state. They put in their interests, which is huge.
Huge. Right.
And then the platform finds the organizations that would be a good fit. So as long as the organization has kept up with their own website, for those keywords of what might drive somebody to volunteer for them, that's it. That's all the nonprofit has to worry about is making sure their stuff is up to date. Which hopefully it is anyway.
Right.
And this then allows a connection between the individual and an organization, not just a one-off volunteer opportunity.
Right.
Again. A bigger
impact. Win. Right. Absolutely. A long-term relationship there. Yep. Yeah, that's amazing. So thank gosh for some AI out there, huh? If you could tell young people one thing about the value of volunteering, what would it be?
I could tell them a few things. So one thing that people don't appreciate is, or most don't appreciate is it's a level playing field. You are volunteering. You and the person next to you could be the CEO of the very company that you want to
Very true.
work
you
for
want to
one
go
day,
work for someday.
You get to experience people that have the same passion you do from all different places in life. And that's huge as a commonality, brings us our humanity to be able to focus on that. There are jobs in nonprofits.
Right,
it's like
absolutely.
I think they put about $1 trillion into our GDP.
Economy, right.
You could get a job.
Right. You might find that passion and find that that's really the career you want to do. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then there's health benefits. So it said that it'll help decrease blood pressure. It helps decrease anxiety. So mental health, it helps a lot with as well.
It helps all of us to know we're helping other people.
Yeah.
You know, we're as humans, we want to help people,
Yep.
right? We want to feel needed and helpful and have a purpose.
Yep.
So,
When you feel helpless, the best thing you can do is help somebody else because now you've got purpose.
Right. Now you have a purpose. Right. And like you said at the beginning too, the connection, you know, those people you might be sitting on that board with, you might be stocking shelves with, you might be ringing bells with, you know, whatever it is, might be somebody you want to talk to about a job someday, or might be somebody that you want to interview with, or somebody you want to be as your mentor even. So absolutely. I can see that's huge. That's huge. So to get in touch with Altruize and to reach out to Nicole or anyone there, you can visit their website at altruize.com, altruize.com, or you can absolutely go to the app and check out their app, because that's where you could sign up to volunteer if you're interested and take a look at that and, you know, get some information and take a look. Nicole, it was such a pleasure to have you. Like, this is so interesting. I love this. As you know, I love that you're so involved in the community. I've always loved being involved in the community, and just so awesome to see this, have seen it grow from the beginning and then, see it come to something now is so exciting, and love that you're helping people in this way and putting these nonprofits together with volunteers.
Yeah. Thank you
really
so much.
exciting.
And, I know you're an amazing real estate agent here in town and you're part of the community. This is also a telltale sign of a community is getting involved. You have to get involved in your community as soon as you move into it.
Right.
So you can get to know it.
Right.
Learn its heart.
Yeah.
And that's another secret of volunteering.
And it's amazing what you find out about what's going on in your community when you get involved. And, any organization, suddenly you see all these things going on behind the scenes, and you see these people who are passionate about all these things. And, you and I have talked about this. We both come from a glass half full instead of a glass half empty kind of thing. But it's also because we care and we love our communities, and we see that, okay, there's potential and there's possibility and, and things like that. And so I think when you get involved, you see that. It was such a pleasure having you. I'm so excited that we did this. It was wonderful to have you join us.
Thank you so much.
So as we wrap up our thoughts today, you might need help with ideas on what to do to get your home ready for sale. You might not be sure where to start. You might need ideas on how to find that right home because you've been looking and you're just not sure what to do. When the time is right for you, contact us. We thank you for listening, and we really, really appreciate you being here. And we're here to help and give you advice and information at any time. As we said, pricing is about supply and demand. Look at the local market. Talk to your local professional realtor. There's a reason everyone says location, location, location. Once again, thank you to Altruize and Nicole for being here. Please go check out their app and their site. I'm really excited about everything they are about. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard here today, be sure to like and follow Listed wherever you get your podcasts.